Good day, Parkers and Parkers to be. I'm Marc Garcia Abelan, social media manager and community manager for Parksen.
And I'm Will Roth, the marketing and communication manager here at Parksen.
And we are very excited to introduce our first podcast episode on this sunny, incredibly nice and warm Friday here in Amsterdam. It is a happy Friday for a bunch of reasons. One of them, if you guys buy your PARQ tokens every Friday from 9 to 5 Amsterdam local time, you will get a 10% extra PARQ bonus. So this is, I think, something to have in mind. And we are here with Will to talk about Parksen, what we are, what we do, so you guys get to know ourselves better, get to hear us, get to know that we're actual human beings.
Yeah, and have a direct connection straight to us. So, I know that we're looking at the board all the time and seeing like all the feedback that we're getting from, Reddit to Telegram, and love Telegram. So of course join. And and there's the feeling of direct conversation, but sometimes there's no avoidance about just talking with our own voices and our own messaging directly to you and you directly to us. So this will be actually the platform for you to really raise those questions if you want to hear us giving it our honest answers directly to you guys.
Exactly. If there is something we love more than developers, that is feedback. We love feedback. So please, anything you have to say, any questions, any doubts, we're here for you guys 24/7. So let's get to it. What is Parksen? Maybe you follow some of our social channels, maybe you read some Medium articles. Parksen is basically, we've been a parking app here in the Netherlands, active since 2014, so we're sort of a classic. But we thought we want to be something else. We thought we want to go one step further and create something that's really valuable for the global picture. So we created the Parksen Green, Smart and Connected City platform. Could you tell us a bit more about it, Will?
Well, the thing is that as a company that deals with parking, so dealing with infrastructure, the thing that we know best is the necessity for an actual wide live solution for drivers who are looking just to get out of their home in the morning, get to their work or destination that they need to get to, not get to drive 40 minutes around the place they need to go, but just find their parking fast, go do your stuff. And of course, on a sunny Friday, it's always better to find it as fast as possible and then continue with our daily routine. And the way that we do that is utilizing our app, our platform, to allow you to see where the parking places are available. And the way that we make sure that you see that it's available is by deploying mass amount of IoT devices that are used to optimize traffic flow throughout any city. And we work here in 113 different cities here in the Netherlands, such as Amsterdam and The Hague and Rotterdam. So the main idea is, of course, to fight harmful smog and pollution as well, and to make sure that you're using less fuel and less frustration, having less frustration out there on the road, the good old road rage, and make sure that you only need to really do what you need to do, and it's go through your daily routine without the main concern of parking in your daily life, because we're here to actually take care of that.
Exactly, we're here to make lives a bit easier, I would say, and of course there's a bigger picture. When we talk about smog, we talk about a global problem. We talk about something which is actually killing people, killing millions of people from different diseases. So yeah, it sounds like really practical. You go, you find your parking place, you have more time for yourself, for your family, for your job, whatever. But then, of course, there's like major benefits, like the improvement of the health of the global population.
Yeah, and the interesting stuff is, and as many parketeers has texted us over the past few weeks, is that we went to China, to Hong Kong, and the city of Xiamen, and you can already see both on the apps and that we have there that they actually test which city has better air quality. And we were at first like, there's that reputation in a way, but it shouldn't be that way. And the ways to do it is, for example, okay, let's say I get in my car in Xiamen, and I drive for, I want to go to the market. Now, all of those people who knows Xiamen a bit or know any city, going to the market is quite hard.
Indeed.
And finding a parking spot is even harder. So you will definitely drive around the market for 40 minutes, an hour, just to find an open parking space. Now, at these 40 minutes, you waste fuel, which create pollution. You might get super angry and tense, which gets you actually major health issues.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, sometimes you even give up on your wish to go there, and then it just wasted everything for nothing. Our ability to go there, and what we had at least from our last visit to China, is that the Chinese government is very, very interested in upgrading the infrastructure throughout China, and they have close to $100 billion targeted especially for improving infrastructure. For us to bring a digitalized, based on AI and IoT devices solution out there is a way to really go for that great fourth industrial revolution that China and the US and the EU are now actually competing in implementing. And a core part of it is, of course, parking. So I know that the president, for example, Xi Jinping, has extended and expressed his desire to better connect between Europe and China. And the way that he wanted to do that is to create the new Silk Road or the Belt way. And, well, the core thing there is high-speed rails, high-speed roads. But part of that project is to build close to 60 new cities.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And we're speaking about huge cities.
Exactly. So think that you build a city between 150,000 people to 5 million people in there. If you don't build in advance a good infrastructure that has the parking solution as part of it, you just miss the whole point of making that project, because you'll just make the same bad infrastructure that we're struggling in current cities at the moment, and not creating new, smart, and model cities for the 21st and 22nd century.
Yeah, and the impression I got from China is that it's really a country which is hungry for innovation.
Yeah, extremely.
We were received by the Department of Transportation. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm really bad with long names, and it was a particularly long one. The Department of Transportation. Go ahead.
It's the Department for Road and Bridge Information, and they handle all the transportation in the city of Xiamen. But beyond Xiamen, they also handle the monitoring and improving the infrastructure in over 55 cities in China. I believe it's more close to 60 cities in southern China. And this is exactly what we aim to show them there. And at the meeting, as you guys could see, we talked about the current infrastructure mainly driven by CCTV live feed. And this is a really nice and interesting way of approaching it. But when we were there, for example, one of the major issues was that the climate conditions, even if everything was perfect, you have lightning storms that are very often. You have a lot of different almost tropical style events going. There's earthquakes. There's a lot of
and the dust. Let's not forget about the dust.
And what happens is that CCTV system, when we were there, for example, with a simple lightning storm that happened at the same time, they had actually issues of getting the live feed. Now, when we come and we bring the IoT devices in there, And this is the new revolution in transportation. For us to embed our IoT devices in the ground, the chances for any above surface issue to cause problems for the IoT device is minuscule. You really need to drill it out, to abuse it, to reach it and do something. And even if they do, unlike CCTV platform that governments buy for between $1,000 to $5,000 a piece, IoT devices that we deploy are relatively cheaper. So, well, not even relatively, it's much cheaper than the CCTV platforms.
So we're speaking about optimization here.
Yeah, so the main ability for us is to give them a much broader, more complex mass data platform that allows them to have a reliable source of infrastructure that continuously talk to the HQ in the Xiamen Road and Bridge Information Company and in other cities as well, optimizing Chinese infrastructure for the 21st century and taking this as a model, as we have to learn as well with them, because we're used here in the Netherlands to deploy our solution. And the Netherlands is different than China by the demands and the amount of traffic.
Indeed, very different.
Yeah, so for us, we are also learning something here as well. And as we can go with our cooperation in China, it allows us to then take bigger and bigger projects as well, both within China, so going to much bigger cities like Shanghai and Beijing, and also going to the western part of China, and hopefully also join the Chinese project, their grand vision for the new Silk Road. So this is something that we're building day by day, agreement by agreement, cooperation by cooperation. And I think that this is where we're very hopeful that in a world that is getting closer and closer and closer into one another, we take that opportunity to bridge and strengthen not only the infrastructure, but European-Chinese relations as well. Because the more we implement and bring more partners with us to China and then bring our experience from China and our partners in China to Europe, we make sure that these horrible talks these days about trade skirmishes and trade wars and escalation is something that we as companies have the responsibility to make sure that we make it smaller.
Okay, that's really amazing. Do you think we have time for one question?
Of course, we always have time for another question.
Amazing. So we have Jatindra. Jatindra through Twitter asks us, why China?
Well, I think that China is a highly promising field for us and an area for us to enter for three main reasons. One, there's active demand by both government, from the local to the federal level, and also by private companies to bring a better solution for smart cities and smart parking, especially in China, so upgrading infrastructure. Second of all, the Chinese have the special position in the world as the biggest constructors of new cities out there. And we want to be part of it, to make sure that those cities are starting as real model cities. And the third part of it is that we're looking for a long-term relations. We're dealing in infrastructure. And if some city tells us, yeah, we just want you to deploy and yeah, that's it, it's not as attractive to us as a city that says we're committed to making real upgrades to our infrastructure so we can lead this city to the next platform. And we feel from our meetings in China and our meetings here with the Chinese embassy and the Chinese trade delegation here in Europe that China has the hunger to do the extra mile that you don't always see in other countries.
So it's a matter of potential It's a matter of willingness actually to improve. That's very
Exactly.
important.
Yeah.
That's amazing, Will. Okay, guys. So, another question. When are you going to talk about your token economics? Oh, that's great news. How convenient. We just posted an article on Medium. So, guys, please go through it, read about it. We would love to have your feedback about it. We're constantly improving, and I think you guys are the main source of improvement for us.
Exactly, and we're active on all these different social platform, and we haven't opened it just because it's fun and hooray, which it is, but we want to grow this company with you and to do it in the best vision that you and us are building together. And the way for us to do it is to get your feedback and get your thoughts, and we also got some of you sending us open APIs if we can fit it within our solution.
It's amazing.
We want to make sure that we are growing together. And for example, as Mark said, the token economics is something that is crucial both for you as part of the PARQ family here, and as well as for us to optimize the best solution for you guys. So I really hope and wait to see your replies.
Please do. You know where to find us. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. We love Telegram. It's always more direct. I think it's always more dynamic. But guys, use any of those channels. We're always open for feedback. We're always open for questions. So please bring it to us. We just love it. And I think we're running out of time. Guys, thank you very much for listening to our podcast, and
Don't forget to use your Friday.
Use your Friday hashtag HappyFriday, guys. Go for it. And we wish you a very happy weekend if you're listening this on a Friday. Otherwise, I'm sorry, it's Monday again.
But we'll see you next time.
See you next time, guys. Bye.